I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it because think about it. I mean, I get it. We're buying straight from the manufacturer. That's
Yeah,
what's going on here. That's why it's so cheap. But $16,
bro.
you can go to
What can
Subway
you get,
and
bro?
you can buy a foot long sandwich, or you can get a Haptic.
So I can get a sandwich or a haptic. Which one?
Trying my best
which
not
one
to
we get?
curse on the podcast, but damn. Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Eric Kelly and Jeff Smart. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, man.
I'm doing good. Doing good. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I could be doing better. You guys probably know the saying, shit or get off the pot. Well, as our listeners probably know, I have been drooling over that Solpec Spectre XR wheel for a minute or two now. And this morning I had to be at work a little early, so I took advantage of being up at like 3 o'clock this morning and jumped on, and I was like, there's no time like the present to get in there and put the order in. Maybe catch them at the end of the day, then their day, and get it in the mail, or at least get it ordered. Enter all my stuff in, hit enter, and for some reason, their system doesn't like my verification code, that 3-digit number on the back of your credit card. It's right.
Damn.
I don't know what to tell you. It's right. I can read numbers and then enter them on a keyboard.
You just can't win, Jeff.
Man.
You just can't win. That's what that sounds like. You can't
It
win.
might be a sign.
It's not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll Solpec, if you're listening, I'm gonna reach out with an email and we'll try to figure something out. I'm trying to put the order in. I am, but yeah, yep. That was after I don't know 6 months, Jason. Maybe not quite that long, but damn, it's felt like that. But finally pulled the trigger. Au contraire, mon frère. So
Let's go.
Yeah, he's trying to get y'all his money, man. Come on.
I'm trying to give you 2 dump trucks full of cash here. But we'll get there. We got some good stuff in the hopper today.
Oh, that's good, man. I mean, that's what Jeff and I call the trophy wheel. So you got to have one of those. And thanks to Jeff, he was the one that came up with this term, because I had no idea what he meant. He's like, no, you got to have a trophy wheel. You got to have the flashy, the big, the light, the expensive, And I was like, that makes sense, You got an expensive rig, and if and when, right? That's not a priority for those that are starting out your builds. Do not start there. Make sure you have everything else squared away.
But I mean, when I first went over to your house and got in, and you had the SimCube CXX, or excuse me, CX,
the Cube Control CSX3.
Yeah, Cube Control, excuse me. You get in, you're like, whoa, this is another level. I love my Neo, but you get in there with like one of those super high end wheels, and you're like, it just speaks to you.
Yeah,
it
was worth every penny.
But I'll feel fast. So, yeah, we're trying to. That's what we're trying to make some moves here. Trying to make some moves.
Awesome. What about you, Eric? How did your week go? What's going on with you?
My week was good, man. I got to do a little racing, set some time trials, and bang around the track a little bit. Was out of town this past weekend, so kind of getting back in the groove of things for this week. But last week went good.
Okay.
Between that and playing some Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, this is totally unrelated to sim racing, but I'm hearing great things about this game.
Lots of potential. Okay. They got some technical stuff they got to work out, but that's pretty much every game nowadays. It's interesting. It's unique, fun. I like it.
All right, man. Well, to be honest with you, for me, this week has been nothing but cleaning, moving stuff around, getting the studio ready for film production, and trying to upgrade the visuals. And I miss it. I miss just racing and not worrying about anything else. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, my brother was like, "Hey, let's play some Monster Hunter." We've been playing Monster Hunter. You probably saw me online there playing Monster Hunter with my brother. And it feels good to kick back sometimes and just take a break from everything. But I am ready. I'm ready to get back in the rig
for
and
our
get
listeners,
racing.
though, our fearless leader has been, doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff to make this production look as nice as it does. So tip our hat to you and appreciate the work you're doing.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate you both too, because there's subtle things that we try and do to make sure that the image quality that you guys are looking at it looks great, not just on your phones, on your TVs or a projector or whatever you're trying to display the show on. So highly appreciate that. And with that, today we're going to cover a few things. So last episode, we went over an email that was sent to us by Vlad Sanchez. And I actually joined his group on Discord. It's the Global iRacing League. And when I tell you that group is active, they got chat rooms. They got the server list had a scroll wheel. I'd never seen that many options to click on. They had a welcome center. They had meet the admins. And I saw Vlad and I hit him up and I was like, yo, Vlad, I'm here. So they opened me and welcomed me in open arms. They also mentioned you both, Jeff and Eric. They're waiting on you to
Vlad,
jump in.
I'm gonna reach out, bro. I had another issue this week. We'll get into it, but yeah, I'm gonna reach out here, buddy.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely touch on that. So the next thing is we are officially out of the F1 season summer break, and at the time of this filming, we just finished up Netherlands race, so I won't spoil the goods. But damn, it feels good to be back, don't you? Come on, Jeff. Come on, touch on that, man.
It gives me life. Like, Wednesday I get out of work. I'm like, oh man, Thursday we got the weekend warm up, and then you got qualifying Friday. I get into work super early, so I just throw the, qualifying on at work and, chug through some emails and get ahead from everything. So it's just, it just gives me like, something else to, look forward to on the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's the summer break is over and it started off with a bang. That's all I'm going to tell you. And it was a recent iRacing protest that happened, and I will let that unfold later down the road in the show. And also, last time we all got together, Gamescom was happening like the weekend upcoming. So I'm going to give the honor and pleasure to Mr. Eric Kelly to cover what went down in Gamescom if you haven't seen it yet, and just update us on what's to come for the hobby.
Yeah, man. So long story short, sim racing is taking off like a rocket, especially if you're just getting into sim racing. If you're on console, there's hope. A lot of new players are paying attention to consoles, specifically PS5. So I've got a couple of things we want to show you guys here. So, myself, Jeff, we're, SimMagic stands, and they just keep putting out bangers, man. So if you're not familiar, SimMagic has something called the HPR motors, and apparently their Neo line is a new line of products they're coming out with. They have the GT Neo steering wheel, and these, if you can see, are HPR Neo haptic motors. These are haptics that go on the back of each of your pedals. They come with an adapter that makes them natively fit. They look like they're supposed to be there. They are $16 a piece. $16.
Can you say that again louder for those in the back?
Look, this is $16. Crazy. $16
US dollars.
US dollars, right?
Bro, no matter what currency you're in, that's a home run. $16. Bro,
I'm telling you, man. I don't know what they're trying to do over there, but I like it.
Right? Yo, do you think that this is like the Costco hot dog or the Costco rotisserie chicken, where they're like, hey, we might lose money on these, but we're going to get people to buy the P1000s or P2000s?
I mean, just the modularity of the ecosystem, it's game changing, man.
Bro, it's crazy.
I'm new to sim racing, as far as at this level, but just looking around, the research I've been doing, this type of thing isn't normal, right? A lot of people, you kind of buy at a level and you're kind of at that level. If you want to upgrade, you have to sell and rebuy something else. But being able to just have this level of modularity on a set of pedals is unheard of, essentially. And they just keep doing it, man.
$16.
$16 a piece. I've got one of the others, and I thought that $60 was cheap, but $16, I'm going to grab another one just to throw my
plastic?
throttle.
What is this thing made out of?
That's
what it's made out of for $16. If it lasts 3 months, okay, give me another one. I mean, $16.
I know you probably have a closet full of them, and just be like, hey,
just snorting haptics.
Next,
I need to feel a little vibration every now and then.
Just let me get
get a hit.
That's insane.
Shout out to SimMagic. Yeah, shout out to SimMagic, man.
$16 is the ultimate. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Hey, I understand.
It is the ultimate slap in the face to anyone that's trying to build. This is rivaling Etsy, bro. This is Etsy. Can't even touch this, bro.
You think you're making money off
at
it?
home.
3D printed? Not even 3D printed.
You can't. And look, it's full SimPro integration. You have all the functionality of the same haptics. Of course, you have SimHub integration, which just takes it through the roof. I've yet to see anybody review them though, because obviously there has to be something different between them and the full size haptic. They're using a different motor. Some people are saying it's closer to like a PS5 actuator, so it's kind of a spinning motor instead of it's a spinner instead of a.
Well, those are super cheap
style motor.
But look at the size of these things, though.
Yeah, I mean, just to get that feedback, right? How much do you really need? How much feedback do you really need to know? Hey, I'm in ABS. Hey, I'm in TCS.
Okay,
So
I'm assuming that this new Neo line, is technically a, what do you call it? Give me the right word. Is the entry level, or is it an entry level type of branding that they're trying to use for the word Neo?
I think they're using it more as like an affordable alternative. Yeah, specifically they said it's an alternative to the full size haptic motor. Which
this is great news. Let me tell you guys why.
Yeah.
Because that means that the ones I have are more powerful than these, right?
Definitely.
So that means I don't have to buy nothing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you have the current ones, which are still a great deal, these don't necessarily replace those. They're just an alternative option.
Great.
But to your point, I mean, I wasn't going to spend $60 to put one on my gas pedal, but for $16,
let's go.
You know that, Jeff. That's a great point, man. Or for a clutch pedal.
Yeah.
If it's only $16.
It's just a little more immersion, a little more info. I mean,
it's. Are they making any money off those? I brought it up originally. It was like, are they advertising? Hey, to sway people to go to the P100s or P1000s. Hey, I can spend a little extra money, but then I'll have to do $16 and I get another level of immersion.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it because think about it. I mean, I get it. We're buying straight from the manufacturer. That's what's going on here. That's why it's so cheap. But $16,
bro.
You can go to Subway
can you get,
and you can buy a foot-long sandwich, or you can get a haptic.
So I can get a sandwich or a haptic.
I'm trying my best not to curse on the podcast, but damn.
I tell you what I'm doing. I'm getting a haptic and some ramen noodles. That's what I'm doing.
I'm telling you, I'm going to buy a whole supply. I'm going to start giving this shit away. I'm going to be like, hey, you guys want a free haptic?
You get a haptic. But yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so SimMagic, great news. Not earth-changing, but it's great.
You don't even need to tell your wife. They gave it to me. You could just say it was $16.
Exactly.
Bro, you won't even get a credit card notification on $16. It won't even register. It'd be like, oh, it's taxes or whatever. Rubble.
Bro, there's so much more stuff you
in 2024, Eric, $16 can't get you shit. You know that.
That's what I was about to say. There's so much stuff you can't buy for $16.
You can't even
But you can
fill
buy
up a
a
car
Haptic.
with gas with $16. Like,
How about you can't even
Fill
sniff
up.
a gas station for $16?
they'll
Bro.
they'll go catatonic on you, Eric. You be like, hey, let me get $16 on pump one. They'll be like,
Hey, look, they gonna come out the back. Like, hold on, stay right there. I'll be right back.
you,
Hey, he tried to get $16 worth of gas.
I know,
Y'all
right?
come out here. Look at this fool.
You pump
16
gas,
bucks, bro.
you literally squeeze the trigger, $16 went by, flash.
It's like a monster and a
you.
bag of chips.
Well, they
man.
look. I would like to see them. I would like to see the weight on them and what the build quality is. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a video here soon if it's not out already.
It says
Or
they're
if
available.
SimMagic was, if you guys want to send us some haptics, they're only $16. That's the least you can do.
I'm telling you, man. We'll definitely look. We will
test
definitely
them
give you
out.
our honest opinion. Put them
All
to the
three of
test.
us. All three.
Yeah. We
One
got the
for
existing
each.
haptics to compare already, so that will work out great.
Yeah.
We got
Looks
good video
though.
quality. We in 4K,
That's right.
Send it on out, man. But yeah, so SimMagic making noise. Somebody else making noise is you can't tell by this picture, but this is a Thrustmaster direct drive wheel for the PS5.
What is that?
So they have it. You know how when they're kind of
Like a
testing
car?
out new cars, they put it in a box, and this is the final shape and all of that stuff. But the
That
guy
looks
that was
crazy,
testing
bro.
it, the guy that was testing it, he has a DD Extreme with the 8 Newton meter booster pack on it, and he said that it was kind of close to the strength of that, but it wasn't quite as strong as that. So in my mind, this is an entry level, probably competing more with the Moza bundle they have. That's like $399 or something like that. That's supposed to be like 5 Newton meters or somewhere around there. Maybe they'll have a booster pack option too to boost it up to 8 or 9 Newton meters. I don't know, but just more options for console players to give us direct drive experience for cheaper. They haven't unveiled pricing or anything like that, but more competition,
Right.
better pizza, Papa John's. You know how it go.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's Thrustmaster. Speaking of Moza, they unveiled a couple of things at Gamescom.
Ooh.
So Jason, this might tickle your fancy. So this is a multifunction stock. So giving you some of those turn signal triggers, wipers, lights, give you that more immersion, more realism, and also fewer buttons you have to map. So now you have the actual stocks, like when you're in the actual car. I mean, in the actual truck.
See,
it looks pretty cool, man. What do you think?
This. Yeah, I've seen this model before. It hasn't been out. I've seen the prototypes and the pictures and people talking about it.
Okay.
My problem is that it only works with, you have to have a Moza base. So for me to fit that over, I don't know. I don't know for sure if they sell an adapter. We'll definitely update that in the description if they do. I'll make sure. So that way, I'm not leaving you guys in the dark, because I am a big truck sim guy. Believe it or not, I love driving big rigs and hauling stuff, and that's my time to relax and have a drink or two while I'm driving these trucks. And you guys, you can ask Jeff.
Just two. No, I think
I'll
it
be
looks
floating
cool,
gears
man.
in that thing, man.
Yeah.
I got my hands stuck like
add-on.
this. You see this, Eric?
Grabbing that knob.
You got a stick in one hand.
Oh man,
that's right.
But yeah, man. So
looks cool.
That would suck. Yeah, that would suck if it's Moza specific. I think just the days of people making stuff that only works with your products. I think SimMagic is kind of exposing people for that practice, because it's just kind of whack. I mean, that's like having a HP computer. It's like, oh, you can only use HP parts on it. People's sim rigs are so customized and so interoperable that having to buy an entire base just to be able to use an accessory is kind of whack.
Right.
So hopefully Moza isn't going that route.
If you look at the design, right, just to move on from this, if you look at the design, it looks like it can just slide over the shaft of the motor. So that way, when you don't need this, you can easily take it off. So that is really tempting. You know what I mean? The way it looks. I just want to know if it's compatible with other stuff, or because with Moza stuff, a lot of it is RJ jacks, like like phone jacks, and then you have to buy their, what do you call this? Their adapter.
A little box they got or something.
Yeah, but it comes with 4, so like 4 inputs. So like if you buy that one time, then you can buy, because their truck wheel is another wheel that I looked at buying, but then when you're spinning a wheel and I have it set to 1800 degrees, that's 900 degrees on just going left or right. You know what I mean? So then the wire would just like wrap around and coil and break my USB port. So I just use a real truck wheels up there, that metal, that wooden and metal truck wheel, and it has no buttons on it. So that way I can spin the wheel freely and nothing gets all jacked up. So that's the only thing.
That's a good point.
That stopped me, and it saved money, because if it was wireless,
so you'd be up there.
If it was wireless, that thing would have been on the wall right now.
That's funny. All right. And so, well, this might be something else from Moza that tickles your fancy, Jason. The Moza M Booster active pedals. So they unveiled these at Gamescom as well. A huge stir. Do not have pricing yet, but we're assuming that they're obviously not going to be SemiCube level pricing.
I hope not.
Yeah.
It looks like, can you go back to the picture previous, please? Previous picture. If you can.
Yeah.
So if you look at, if you're looking at the actuator on the brake, it looks plastic to me. And I hope that that's not plastic, because we're putting 200 pounds of pressure on these brakes. And I don't want any creaking. I don't want any cracking. I don't want any slipping. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I have to say about these just by looking at them. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff? What do you think of these?
I don't know, man. It's just hard to tell. I'm hopefully optimistic. It's hard to see just by the picture, but time will tell. Time will tell. I think the bigger picture here is it's good for the industry. It's good for everybody that somebody else is entering the active pedal market. Competition, is nothing but good things for everybody when it comes to price and quality.
Yeah,
I think that's well said. Because honestly, the more. Oh, thank you, Eric. That's a way better image there. Appreciate. Yeah, I think the more, this is a concept. It's coming out, but it's a concept for other companies to make the same product. And I hope SimMagic is watching, because we already know they're probably in a conference room right now with drawings and blueprints talking about how they're going to make their own version.
Oh yeah.
At a cheaper price.
So I did have a question. So I know I have the haptic motors. Jeff has haptics. You've had haptics and you have an active pedal. What would you say is the biggest difference? Like, if I have haptics, like, why would I want to go to an active pedal?
So that's a hard one to answer, man, because so when you press on your brake pedal, right, and you go like that to it, your foot doesn't move, but or you feel the vibration hitting your foot. Something is tapping on your foot, but your foot's not moving. With active pedals, when you press on the brake, it's like it's simulating a real ABS brake. So your foot will move with the brake pedal forward and backward, kind of like that.
Oh, okay. So it's actually applying force against your foot and not just shaking. Okay.
But that's not just the only thing. That's one effect. The other effects are you can customize. It's like a graph. You can customize how soft the brake is and then how hard it is. We can do that, but we have to break out a wrench and do it and set it. You can set it electronically. So you can have different. Yeah, you can have it set for different cars. So I'm a drifter, I'm a racer, I'm a rally, I'm a ACC guy. I will have settings for each different car. So right now I have to be neutral with these pedals because I have to find a setting that works for every sim. But with an active pedal, so SimiCube takes it to a next level because their software integrates with, it has a software called True Drive. And I think they use a different one for the pedals, but it uses the profile system. So if I'm following Daniel Newman, not Daniel Newman, excuse me, Dan Suzuki, and Dan Suzuki has a profile he's racing with and he's doing all kinds of stuff with. And he's like, oh yeah, check out my profile. I can download that profile, install it onto my, pedal, and it's going to act the very same way that his pedal acts. And that's why, my preference is always going to be SimiCube. It's just, I hope that SimMagic can bring out something, or that these do something similar, because we just don't know yet. It's too soon to say, but that's really the difference. The difference is this, it's immersion and it's more control because the brake is actually on a lever. If you look at this brake, it's just a fixed. See, I can't say that either because we don't know, right?
Yeah.
It looks fixed to me.
And you're talking about the actual canister piece of it?
Yeah, the canister piece looks like it can be adjusted, but I don't know if it can be adjusted electronically. It might be a wrench.
It's got like a pivot in there.
Yeah, you see where move your mouse up a little to the middle. Yeah.
We'll get in close here.
Yep, and to those listening on audio version, check us out at TGS Sim Racing, Track Ghost Sim Racing on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can find this video and you can check out the photos that we're looking at. We're speculating here.
Yeah.
So
but there's
the power, there's the bass, and you see the RJ jack right there.
Yeah,
those are not USB pedals, so you need to have that adapter.
Yeah, so gonna be Moza, at least Moza adapter required, huh?
So Eric, I will say this: it does have a power jack. You see that? Scroll in.
Yeah.
Most pedals don't need power; they only need a connection. So if it might be electronic. It might be. I don't know. It's too soon to say. Okay. Is there any information on them yet, or is it just a reveal?
So some people got to use them at Gamescom and they kind of gave a little bit of feedback, but I don't know of anybody who has some in the wild to test and, really kind of go over like that. So people have been going over them saying they feels good. They're active pedals. They don't know pricing. So it's really hard to say how good they are, right? They come out and they're the same as SimiCube pricing, but feel cheaper, and that sucks. But if they're,
another thing is, people that don't run active pedals on a regular basis, or people that just haven't used them, of course they're going to tell you it feels good. I mean, it's something they never tried before, right? So it just needs to hit the market. You know what I mean? It needs to hit the market and see what it's doing. And if they're anywhere decently priced, they're going to be sold out everywhere.
I mean, that's the big thing right there is what's their price point.
Yeah, that's the elephant in the room, man.
They look good though. This picture right here specifically, they look good.
Yeah, they're not all dusty and used. I think the other picture from the show floor, somebody posted on Instagram, but yeah, man. So like I said, more fun, exciting stuff coming in the world of sim racing. We'll cover another group here. So this is the Revo Sim by Nacon. And I'm not familiar with this brand from a sim racing standpoint. It's direct drive. They've got basic pedal set. If I had to guess, this would be another entry level player. I don't know pricing at all or features and functionality, but once again, another option. More options, more people in the market. Competition goes up, prices come down. That makes us happy sim racers, right? So that's
right.
That's cool. But something else that might not be as cheap. Corsair had their sim rig at Gamescom as well. So if you're able to see the picture here, it's definitely cool looking. Looks pretty big. Also looks very proprietary. But I do have some interesting information about it. So let me go back to it.
And before you get into that,
yeah.
This
What you
is an
thinking?
automatic no-go for me because of the tubular system. And I
So,
told you about that.
so here's the kicker.
The
The tubes have slots for T-nuts all along them. So they're
Interesting.
attaching, so they're allowing you to attach things using the T-nut system just like you would on an aluminum profile rig. So now some of that, some of the stuff is going to look a little weird, right? This is a tube, you're attaching a, flat square, thing. But as far as options, it kind of, blends the best of both worlds in a sense. They do have their own proprietary, monitor mount, which we can see here. You can do single screen. They got a triple screen option. And also they utilize some of the,
I
there's
like the white. Looks good.
Yeah, the white is clean, and then they utilize some of some similar adjustments like that Track Racer Alpine setup uses, where the pedals and the bass, they have levers that let you like freely adjust them up and down, back and forth, and things like that. So, I mean, it seems cool. Once again, I wasn't able to find pricing on it at this point. But if you're looking for an all-in-one system, I mean, it looks like they would drop ship this in maybe 2-3 pieces, just from
How much is it, man?
You think this is like really marketed? Really marketed at the people that kind of, I don't want to say don't want to do the work of piecemealing a kit together. Just, hey, I can swipe my card and it'll show up in 5 days.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Where's the PC go, or is it is it console? Does it go under the pedals there?
Yeah, you can't mount the PC nowhere now that I can see.
Let's see. So they've
it's probably
got an
gonna have that price point where you
here.
Just all those.
They probably got something. They probably you see that shelf? Zoom out, Eric. See that shelf on the top right? That little purple peaking thingy? That might be the PC.
That's
right at your mouse. Top right.
Here?
No, top right. All the way top right.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, you're talking about up here?
Yeah, that looks like a PC to me with LEDs in it.
Yeah, anyways, it could be. Yeah, it's probably just really targeted towards the people that just want to slide my card and have it show up. And
it looks good. I mean, okay, so
it's got a cool look. It's compacted. Yeah.
When I look at this, if I have a business and it's a sim racing business and we want something easy and we got a server room and all we need to do is run a few wires, then I'll buy like 10 of these.
Yeah.
Take a loan out to buy them and just set them up. But something as custom as an 80-20, it's custom because you can play around with it. You can change the entire shape of this thing. This thing is a built shape and it's going to remain that shape no matter what. Even though you can attach stuff to it. But the integrity of
that's I was about to say that's the piece is the rigidity of it. That's kind of the claim to fame for the aluminum profile rigs, the 80-20.
Gotcha.
You slap them together, you tighten those T-nuts down, it's locked. So,
it's locked.
Yeah. So with this, it has some of that,
or for someone that doesn't have space too. Not everyone has space for a big, giant sized rig with a triple, Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't, so I say this doesn't look necessarily small.
It looks compact though, Eric. The tubes are right on it. You see that?
Yeah. I think
if you look at a triple monitor stand, compact. You need, this is your rig.
For the triples,
And then you got another stand. Sorry. and then you got another stand like right out of it. So you're wider than usual. You're wider than just a rig.
Yeah, it is pretty well integrated there. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So that's mostly all I have from Gamescom. Kind of pick the highlights.
Man. Thanks for sharing the pictures.
The market. Yeah, we'll cover it. But yeah, man, that's all I got.
All right. So the next thing is Jeff. We got Jeff up with some updates and something recently that happened to him that I'm gonna allow him to. I'm gonna let him cover that. So because it's
Yeah.
It's part of real life, I guess. Real life problems.
Yeah. So Jason started a quick discussion there that the F1 is out of summer break. We did have the Dutch GP. We won't get into it in case those that watch it a little later. But the one thing about F1 is there is just as much news off the track as there is on the track, and I think Drive to Survive has shown that. But anyways, like the news out of F1 this morning, or probably I think it was Saturday was when the news broke, is like you can't make this stuff up. So Haas, the only U.S. based team on the grid, had all of their cars, gear, RVs, everything basically impounded into the Netherlands. There was court ordered and police were brought out so they could not leave the track. And what this all stems from is so back when Russia invaded Ukraine, there was, a lot of this political and society had wanted to like, hey, I'm not supporting Russia, and Haas was the same. Everybody kind of, removed themselves from advertising with Russian companies, and Haas was the same. So there's a company, I'm going to butcher their name here because I'm not Russian, but Ukraili. I don't know what they do or make or whatever, but they're from Russia-based company, and they were a sponsor for the Haas team. Like they had their sticker on the car. After Russia invades Ukraine, Haas is like, we don't stand by this. We don't, support it. We're breaking all of our ties with this company. And it was to the tune of $13 million in sponsorship that Haas was like, yeah, we're not into it. So long story. Yeah. I mean, this isn't like chunk change here. This is, I mean, 13 millions is like, Nico Hulkenberg crashes like twice. There's $13 million. So anyways, so Haas didn't give all the money back that I guess was allegedly due, or how they ever broke up the time that they had the sponsorship versus when they canceled, how much money was left on the contract. So this company goes to the Netherlands court system and says, hey, Haas owes us money, and put a court order in. I'm paraphrasing here because I don't know what the right term is in the Netherlands court system, but here in America, it would basically be like a court order that, hey, Haas's cars, the F1 cars, the RVs, the gear, the mechanic, all the crap that you need to go race next weekend in Monza can't go until Haas pays off. I think it's $8 million. So here's where it gets even more spicy. And like, you can't make this stuff up. Haas is saying we can't pay them because then we're aiding and abetting Russia by giving money back, like millions of dollars back to, and there's probably the oligarchs or whatever ties to these organizations. I'm speculating here, right? So please don't, jump down my throat if they aren't. I have no ties. I'm just speculating here. Is then the U.S. government is going to give a Haas corporate, punishment for, giving millions of dollars back to oligarch or to a Russian bank. You can see where I'm going with this, right? The political ties and the government issues.
It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah. So Haas is sitting there like, what do you want from me? Like, I obviously I'm sure they don't want to stroke a check for $8 million, right? But but they need to get onto the grid next weekend in Monza, right? So I guess what happened yesterday afternoon or this morning, depends on where you were when it happened, is I guess Haas sent $8 million to a holding company in the Middle East. So they didn't have to pay Russia. They gave it to the holding company, and then the holding company was like, yep, check cleared. Here, Russia company, Uralki, the Russia company, here's your money. And then that company reached out to the Netherlands government. It was like, it's all good. We got our money. You can let their stuff go. We don't care about it anymore. And so this morning, Haas has like been notified by the Netherlands government that, hey, you can take your stuff now. We don't really care about it. Like, this is crazy.
That's crazy.
In the middle of the season, too.
In the middle of the season.
They need to get to the next race. Like, how are they going to
I'll tip my hat to the Russia company for, hey, they're playing chess. Not everybody
Yeah,
plays. Some
man.
people play checkers. They were playing chess. Hey,
So you ain't going nowhere, man.
I'm
Where's
gonna
my
get my
money?
money. I'm gonna get my money.
Look, that's holding you hostage, basically.
Hey, good on them for public pressure, and Haas has already pot committed to the season. Can't miss a race. I mean,
ooh,
crazy.
Yeah.
that's
I
wild,
mean,
if this isn't in Drive to Survive, Netflix,
they would lose
get your
more
shit
money
squared
by
away.
losing. They would easily. They would miss. They would lose more money by missing the race than the $8 million.
Yeah.
Oh, hands down.
That's what I
stop.
thought too.
I mean, I don't know. Do you guys know how much it costs to put your company's logo on the side of an F1 car for a season? It can't be cheap.
Oh no.
If
Millions.
any of our listeners have some info on that, I'm sure you could Google it, but it would
look at the
I'd
Super
be
Bowl.
super interested.
What
Dude,
they pay for commercials, $5 million for 1
30
minute.
seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah. And think about it. Like there's even just people that go to the race is almost 500,000 people. So that's just at the race, not on television, all the other stuff, ways that you can watch F1. So yeah, to your point, I don't know how much it cost, but $8 million was probably, they looked at it, was like, this is a pretty easy decision. I don't want to fork over $8 million, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
That's right.
That's wild though, right? I mean, I saw the bottom line on the F1. I was like, it's stuck. I had to do some Google search.
I know.
That's crazy.
It scared me. This is a true story. It scared me because Jeff sends me a text, or he sends the group a text. We have our own like group chat. And I haven't seen the race yet. And I was like, no, Jeff. I saw an F1 car. That's all I saw. And I just scrolled up. It's like, and then I text him. It's like, Jeff, I haven't seen the race yet. And he's like, no, we're good.
It's not race related. Yeah. But dude, you think we could scrounge enough cheddar together to put the Chicane podcast logo on the side of a car? That'd be badass right there.
Hey, we need the whole wheel. We wouldn't need a little cheddar.
I would need to sell my entire house, bro.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Anyways, we were talking about maybe putting on a logo on one of the tracks in a sim or something, but it'd be stepping
maybe
up
a
little
tiny
bit.
microscopic logo.
I saw. Speaking of that, the McLaren car has some type of thing. I was watching Lando in the cockpit view. Their graphics on the side of him change mid-range, like every 10 seconds. They're like screens or something, and it just switched from like.
I need to watch that again. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's smart on them, right? You can advertise more, but I mean, that's weight. Maybe Mercedes should have came up with that idea last week.
Maybe
added a couple more pounds, but anyways, that's that. I got one more update for the team and our listeners. So I was racing this past week, and there was an individual that normally if I get rear end or impact or an incident with contact with somebody, I get frustrated, but it is what it is, right? It's just part of the race, iRacing. But this individual, God, like left turn, and I have half a car in front of him, and he just goes right. Like, and I was like, this is bullshit. Like, come on, man. So I finished the race, and I was like, hey, I like looking at the replay, so I can kind of, hey, maybe it was my fault. There's some of them I'm like, hey, that dude screwed up. No, it's probably me. I came off my line. I turned under braking. Try to learn from it so I don't do it again. And I see the individual, and then I'm like, something just tells me, hey, follow his car and back up a lap. I want to see how he got to where, we met in the situation. Well, this joker took out 3 other people in the same lap. And I'm like, then that's when I was like, Jason, you got a problem. I'm like,
he sends me the video.
I'm like,
he's
this
like,
is bullshit.
The guy goes off track and
he cuts like half the I wouldn't say half the track, a third of the track
easily,
on, and he tries to like pit maneuver somebody, and we're Formula Racing, misses, cuts the track again, and then here I come minding my own damn business, trying to make a left turn, and I have going on the outside, leaving him plenty of room, and just T-bones me. So I didn't know what else to do, so I was like, hey, like I did a protest. I was like, and I don't want to be that guy that runs protests or whatever, but I'm like, this is like bullshit. And I was pissed.
Yeah.
So I sent them
It
the
was
video.
many people. It wasn't just you. It was many.
Yeah, it took out 3 people in one lap. And I don't know if other people did it, but
honestly, he probably got filed multiple, which is ideal.
Yeah.
I hope they did.
And I'll just kind of paraphrase, give everybody a rundown. I didn't know what the protest was, and if you do, then I'm sorry for listening again. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't. You just pick the rule that you're submitting to iRacing that somebody violated, and mine was wrecking on purpose or crashing on purpose, taking people out. It's like 5.1.2 or whatever. It's pretty easy to pick right through. It just gives you a drop down, and then you have to submit video. And I took a video from my cell phone of the replay. You can do that, but they probably like you using their internal review replay system and recording from there. And you just submit it. And I think I got an email instantly that it was submitted and, hey, we'll get back to you. And it took about maybe 3 days. But here's the spicy part that kind of, I don't know how, it was a little frustrating is they say, hey, it has been submitted and I don't want to say approved, but acknowledged is probably the word
received or something.
Received. And basically their iRacing is telling you some type of action may or may not have been taken against the person. The verbiage is basically saying we've addressed it with the person. They may or may not have been will be penalized with safety, iRating, or, license or whatever. But they don't ever tell you what the punishment is, which is interesting. Maybe some more Google searching, but it was barely satisfying to know that iRacing did something. They watched the video and maybe, put something in the dude's record. I don't know. It just was a little unsatisfying when the dude, legitimately, I get probably 3 races.
I hope he gets banned.
And this dude just trashes one of them. It's just frustrating, man.
That's why we need to join this league, man. Or, to try it out and see.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So definitely going to reach out. Going to have to try to get this. It's just hard with, the family and work and stuff to contribute.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Be tied down to a single time during the week. But to avoid stuff like this, is just one person just crashes it, and ruins it for you. So I wanted to air dirty laundry with the dude's name. I'm going to take the high road here. No pun intended. But you know who you are if you're listening.
You did the right thing. So, you held your composture, man.
But I guess that's what it's there for. Is if you think you got taken out. It's funny, dude, because Eric, you're probably on a lot of these Facebook pages. I think I see you in there. Dude, people will show videos of this dude took me out, and you're like, bro, that's a racing incident.
They got montage videos of mess up of the week. I forget what it's called, and they got a compilation of them.
Dude, people I mean, I get frustrated, but I'm not gonna post it on Facebook or Reddit or whatever, being like, this guy took me out. That's bullshit. What? I got. I mean, I'm saying that after I filed the protest, but this dude took 3 people out one lap. So
maybe I was gonna say you're in the minority, man.
Calling it kettle black or something, but
I know.
Anyways,
most people rant about all kinds of stuff.
If I'm ranting and it was wrong, then it is what it is. But if that dude's not held accountable, he's just gonna do it again, right? And ruin other people's races. So
you did right.
This is true.
Yeah, I am officially getting off the soapbox with the protest with this knucklehead. But yeah, that's my rant. Had 4 father great races this week, so it was good.
There you go.
So that's kind of my updates for the week.
All right. So for the last thing, we did get another email into our inbox, and I'm going to hand this portion out to Mr. Kelly to cover, please.
Yes, sir. So we got an email from Mr. Michael Pagliaro. Says, great work on the podcast. So he says, hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. I recently discovered your show and have been listening to the podcast daily, during my daily commutes. I'm pretty immersed in the sim racing hobby myself and run my own YouTube channel, The Sim Racing Den, where I primarily review hardware and occasionally host a podcast. I just want to pause. He mentions hosting a YouTube channel, like it's just a YouTube channel. We're familiar with the Sim Racing Den. We've
Oh
seen
yeah,
the work.
we know who you are.
Yeah.
It's an
No need
absolute
to be
honor to get
modest.
an email from.
Damn, I know. I feel
Yeah.
like I won't say made
Y-
it, but like when you get acknowledged by people on that level,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high
Yeah.
level stuff, man.
Yeah.
dude,
So
like
just
premium quality content.
definitely. Yeah. So just taking a moment to tip our hat to you. We see you. We respect you. I'm actually in one of the sim racing forums on Facebook that has, I think you hit 100,000 members on the sim racing forum. Awesome resource. But finishing up the email, uh, it says, despite being deeply involved in the community, I always learn something new from each episode I listen to. It's enjoyable to listen to fellow sim racers chatting and hear your perspectives on various topics. I know firsthand the effort it takes to create high quality video and audio content consistently, so I greatly respect what you do. Keep up the fantastic work. If you ever need a guest to discuss sim racing hardware, feel free to hit me up. Stay safe and enjoy your racing. Mike Pagliaro, creator of the Sim Racing Den. Well, you said it.
Wow.
You put the invitation out there. I guarantee you, Boss Man gonna have a hit up coming for sure.
We would be honored to have you on our show.
Yeah,
That would be
definitely.
amazing. That would be
Yeah,
amazing to get you on the show. And I really want to touch up on the email that you sent to us. There was a one-liner that says, "I know firsthand the effort it takes to create high-quality video and audio
yes,
content consistently. It's
yes,
not easy, man. It's not easy to put these out. The easy part is this, and the fun part is talking to my friends Jeff and Eric and discussing. This is the reward, right? It's kind of like
yeah,
we're hanging out with each other, we're talking and we're enjoying. But then when the cameras go off, then when the audio is over, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that goes into it, and I'm to get an email that says this and it acknowledges us, right? Because you're
yeah,
acknowledging us as part of the sim racing community. So, I mean, I, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this email, and thank you so
yes,
much for your kind words, because that's all. Sometimes that's all you need is to hear that appreciation. Like, hey, I know what you're doing. I see it. I know what it is, because he has a podcast himself,
yep,
and he knows what it's like to consistently upload and have it great and have it sound okay and make sure, you know what I mean. There's a lot of stuff that goes to it. You build tools and you find a workflow, but even
hmm
then there's always a knife or a fork that gets thrown in there and you're like, oh no, like, okay, now I
yeah,
gotta, you know what I mean. Eric can relate. jeff
yeah.
It's
is
hard to
Always
make
jeff is
us
a
something.
sound
photographer.
and look good.
He could tell you about
Yeah,
photography and messing up shots. And I'm not saying he messes up shot, I'm just saying, like,
It
yeah.
takes a
It's
lot of
talking.
always
work to make
something.
us look and sound good, dude. I understand it. I know. I got you.
Oh yeah,
And we appreciate it, man.
yeah. It's
No,
all.
I
It's
appreciate you
we
both.
know it's always
This
something, man.
so this chicane podcast is made up by myself, by Jeff, and by Eric. That's the chicane podcast. It's a group thing. It's not one person. So when these emails come in, it's to both of you as well. So all three of us. So we're all putting out the time and we're putting out the care and effort to put
Mm,
out the quality content and to grow as a podcast first and foremost. And of course, I have TGSR that I'm working on. It's part of this project, so it's emotional. It's very emotional to me, and but it's still fun and exciting because
mm,
we got two great individuals, three great individuals, people across the ocean listening to us, all kinds of people. So
yeah.
please email us at thechicanepodcast@gmail.com. And for
Just
Mike Pagliaro, we will definitely be hitting you up, man.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
So is there any other comments on the email or any roundtable or any other thing we want to add to the show before we wrap this one up?
No,
Humbled.
I'll just say, just tip my hat again to you, and I think he keyed in on it. Especially myself being a YouTuber, the consistency, right? Being able to, even once you get that quality, you get that good video, that good shot that one time, doing it again and again and again. It's hard, man, and seeing the work that you're doing and seeing the work that he's done. I tip my hat to both of y'all, man.
Well, thanks, Eric. I appreciate. And yeah, I mean, you guys got to follow also the Tech Gen. He's very what do you call this? He's very reserved on the channel on this channel about his YouTube, but he has a legitimate tech YouTube channel that he's putting out more videos. And then recently, Significant Other is also starting up. I threw it out there, Eric. Sorry.
Oh no, that's
starting
fine,
out
man.
that entrepreneurship. Yeah, man. So
yeah,
a lot of stuff happening, a lot of moving parts. And then we got Jeff in September going over to Singapore to see the Singapore GP. So a lot of cool things happening, man. So if there's nothing else, wait a minute, Jeff, you forgot to tell me something. I forget. Where is it, bro? What did you forget?
Drive fast, brake late.
There you
Not too late, just late enough.
See, I can't close the show without it. It's a habit.
I almost forgot it, man. Thanks for that.
Well, you kind of did, so. That's all right. That's all right. You guys got to see us before and after the show at some point. Maybe I'll put a blooper show because it's funny as hell before we get on it. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for watching and listening, and have a great start of your week.